Good morning. Good morning. Happy Friday. Thank God it's Friday, but thank God it's just a day, I guess. Thought I'd start with a peek into the secret box there of creation. There are the three mother letters of the Hebrew Kabbalah bursting out of a black whatever it is. There's Aleph, and then the blue one is Mim or Mem, and the red one is Sheen. Okay, that's especially for the participants in the Kabbalah initiation uh, classes, I guess, on Zoom that we're doing on Wednesday nights. But we'll offer them again later for those of you who would like to do that again sometime. Anyway, we are continuing with morning readings of Ask Babylon, answers to questions of life and magic uh, by New Falcon Publications. Available everywhere. There's one more Goetia letter I'm going to read, and then we're going to read a couple letters concerning the Holy Guardian Angel. Uh, so the final one, I'm just checking everybody's message here to make sure that I'm actually live. I guess I am. I guess I'm alive. Uh, you can't count on that these days. How much preparation for an evocation? Hi, Babylon. I'm a big admirer of your work, and I've found your latest book to be highly informative, a work which I've often pointed other people to. And I'm not sure what book that was because this was written many years ago. However, in this book and the excellent illustrated Goetia, that you realized realized a while ago, I found no reference to the preparation for the operation. How do I feel about fasting? Or, excuse me, how do you feel about fasting and other acts of purification, such as sexual abstinence, before the work takes place? I ask this because some grimoires, like the Heptameron, are adamant that the operation uh, goes on, or that the operative goes on a lengthy fast, etc. What are your views on this? Name withheld. These are great. This is a great question, and uh, very much like a lot of questions I got concerning the technical preparations for a Goetic evocation or any magical ceremony. Hello, name withheld. Thanks for the kind words and for taking the time to write. You ask a very good question, and I'll try to answer it the best way I can. I think it's very important to feel properly prepared to operate this kind of magic. That could mean different things to different magicians. On one hand, you're probably not going to feel very magical after a huge meal and a couple of pints. Nor are you likely to possess the necessary wit and physical stamina after an exhausting roll in the hay. We just naturally feel clean, elevated, and let's face it, a little more pious, with a clean body, empty bowels, and a full sack. On the other hand, there are times when the circumstances that necessitate the operation conspire to make you at your emotional best to strike out and impose your will on the situation, when you know in your heart of hearts that now is the time to call up this beastie and have it out with him. At times like this, you'll know. And it won't matter if your body is filthy, your belly full, or well, you get the picture. I guess the key word is feel. When you have time to prepare, do what it takes to make you feel ready to operate. But do not focus so much on the process that you evoke an even more dangerous pair of demons before the operation begins. I'm talking about the personal demons of vanity and false piety. It's necessary to feel holy when you walk into the circle, but nobody likes a snob, especially the spirits of the Goetia, and believe me, they'll find any chink in your armor. When you evoke a Goetic spirit, you evoke an adventure. Adventures are often scary, but if the hero is true to himself or herself, he or she will be a different person at the end of the adventure. And different things happen to you when you're a different person. Hopefully, one of those things will be the fulfillment of the object of your operation. I hope this has been helpful. My best, Babylon. Okay, that brings us to the end of the Goetic and Spirit Evocation section. And the next section is the Holy Guardian Angel. And I got a lot of questions about that. And it's one of the chapters that I've peppered with one of Babylon's diary scribblings there. You see my magical motto there, or at least it was at the time. So far, so good. You know, I couldn't think of a better motto than that just until very recently. It served me well for many decades. What is the straightest path to the Holy Guardian Angel? Greetings, Babylon. I'm very interested in true will and my Holy Guardian Angel. And I know there are lots of paths to it, yet I'm interested in what you think is the straightest path. Is the philosophy/religion, thelema, the best path for someone for whom finding his true will is all important? I've read the book of the law. I must be slow. I can't make heads or tails of it. Every time I read it, I glean one insight, and yet still end up being confused. Thanks, name withheld. Dear name withheld. Good. I'd really be worried if you said you understood the book of the law. One insight per reading is really a good track record. This is a quote from the book of the law. Let him come through the first ordeal, and it will seem to him as silver. Through the second, gold. Through the third, stones of precious water. Through the fourth, ultimate sparks of intimate fire. Knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel is a level of consciousness. The straightest path to the HGA is devotion. If you can fall completely and helplessly in love with God, you are there. If this means you find yourself in a loincloth, jumping up and down on the street corner, blissfully singing Hare Krishna or Hare Crowley, then so be it. It won't matter to you, because you and the beloved will be joined in ecstatic union. If, however, you feel in your heart of hearts, and that's where the Holy Guardian Angel lives, that you still have some mission to accomplish in this incarnation before hopping on the train and taking the straightest path to Blissland, then you should start shopping around to see what your mission is. And customize your devotional quest for the angel in order to harmonize and manifest your life's mission, your will. Thelema is just a path that recognizes the formulae and the dynamics of the quest as they generally manifest during this current phase of humanity's consciousness. Thelema provides a certain vocabulary of terms and describes universal concepts that could just as easily be labeled something else. But one does not have to adapt or embrace the thelemic terms in order to utilize the formulae. Am I making sense? Thelema is bigger than techniques and religious forms. You don't have to use the techniques and religious forms of Thelema as you see them practiced today in order to utilize the thelemic formulae to discover and do your will, or gain knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel, or cross the abyss, or dissolve into Godhead. Trust your instincts on this matter. Chances are your instincts are the voice of your Holy Guardian Angel talking to you right now. Babylon. The next short letter is, do I first need my HGA before beginning any magical work? Dear Babylon, I'm a ceremonial magician. I just purchased your Enochian magic book. Israel Regardi says in the Tree of Life that before you attempt any Goetia, you need to be in communion with your HGA. Is the same thing true for Enochian magic? Sincerely, name withheld. Dear name withheld, no. From a practical point of view, one must start all manner of magical work prior to the full HGA experience. Just keep in mind, however, that all pre-HGA work will be a hit and miss affair. But geez, you gotta start somewhere. Babylon. And the final letter for this morning, falling in love with the HGA. Dear Babylon, I have been increasingly drawn to the idea of finding my Holy Guardian Angel. Mentioning this to a friend of mine, he read me the intro to the book on Abramelin the Mage. 6 months as a hermit, yikes! Then I thumbed through your book, The Magic of Aleister Crowley, today, and found Liber Samach, a ceremony of the invocation of the HGA, as well as the chapter preceding it. It seems knowledge of one's Holy Guardian Angel would be handy in both life and death, or the passing from one to the other. There are probably other good uses for a Holy Guardian Angel. Can you give any practical advice beyond what is in the book as for venturing, for such a venture into knowing? And maybe the first question to be answered is, what is an adept? I have a sense that I may be trying to run before I can stand up. In appreciation for your knowledge and humor, name withheld. Dear name withheld. Knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel is a love thing. Work on developing the ability to fall hopelessly, blissfully, passionately in love with God or whatever your object of supreme divinity is. Each of us is already trying to mate with our HGA. Every time we fall in love with someone or something, it's not really the person or object of our devotion we're falling in love with. We're falling in love with a perfected ideal, something that no person or thing could in reality ever live up to. That ideal is the angel. That perfected ideal is really us. A fact that we'll discover when we and the angel are united. Until then, we're already well armed with the only tool we need to lure the angel to us. Intense, insane, romantic naivete. A devotion so consuming it would embarrass us to death if we weren't so blinded by love. I hope this has been helpful. Babylon. P.S. If we weren't so impatient to run, we would never learn to stand and walk. P.P.S. My definition of an adept, a person who is always in over his head and loves it. It always seems like you're starting in the middle of things. There is no shallow end of the pool. Gee, I ought to write fortune cookies. That's it for today. Tomorrow we'll pick up, is solitude necessary to invoke the Holy Guardian Angel? And until tomorrow, start your weekend early. Go ahead. Take the rest of the day off. And have a great weekend, everybody. And I'll see you Saturday and Sunday, too, if all goes well. Until then, be good to yourself and be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law. Love under will.